Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches number 10. I am combining it today with Color Craze, which is a series that I am doing over with MK Gun over at Some Assemblage Required. And the sketch we are using was created by the lovely Maggie Blethen, or otherwise known as Crafty Maggie. And that is for 31 days or 30 days. And then we are using these colors for Color Craze. So Color Craze is a series that MK and I started last fall, where we take some color inspiration and create layouts based off of the color inspiration. And this time we are combining it with 30 days of sketches on all of the even days. So I am starting out with a cut file, which means my sketch is going to be a little bit different because there is no cut file on Crafty Maggie's sketch. But the inspiration that I am taking is I am using two photos. My placement's going to be different, but I am also going to do those floral clusters in the opposing corners on the diagonal there. So that is what I am taking from the sketch. My cut file says away we go, and I am just going to go ahead and trim it out. This is the inside piece. The rest of it, it has the white portion that goes all the way around it, and you're going to see that. But I am having to use a craft knife to cut the centers out of the letters. And that craft knife is called a slice. I got it on Amazon. It works great. It is a ceramic blade, and the blade is really tiny. So it's a little bit difficult to cut yourself on it, but it does cut very well on the paper, but the blade doesn't stick out super far, so it's really hard to be accurate with it. So it works great for something like this where I'm not going for any level of accuracy. I'm just trying to cut the centers out. But I'm not sure how well it would work if you were trying to be super accurate cutting around something. So that is my 2 cents on that blade. But it is really sharp and it's very handy. So So there is the cut file. I really liked the paper airplanes on this. This is a cut file that I got in an old Creative Cuts Club kit. And we were also given the digital version of it. So it's not something that you can go and purchase that I'm aware of, because it was part of a Kit Club exclusive. So I thought it worked out really well. I was actually going through all of my old cut files and weeding out a bunch, and I came across this one and thought, I like that one, but I was missing part of it. I was missing all the centers to the letters, and I was reminded that we're given this digitally, so I went and cut it again smaller because it was also like the full 11 by 11, which was too big for me because then my photos didn't fit very well. So yeah, I was able to go and grab the digital file and cut it again, much smaller, with the insides of the letters, which works so much better. I am using an old Stampin' Up! Punch to punch some little tiny flowers here, and I inked those up with some turquoise ink. I pulled out some tumbled glass ink to ink things up, and I also went over to Creative Fabrica, which has cut files, and they've got all kinds of graphics and fonts and all kinds of stuff. And I pulled a cut file for those florals that you see on the bottom right hand side. I kind of modified it a little bit so that I could cut all of the insides on my machine and not have to hand fussy cut them. So I am just inking them up as quickly as I can here, as you see, trying to get them done relatively quickly because it is quite a long process to go ahead and back a cut file, especially when it has all of the details of all the little tiny leaves and they're super delicate. But by doing it this way, I was able to easily just ink up the colors that I wanted, staying in the color palette that we chose for Color Craze for today's layout, which is the dark blue, the light blue, it's got some green, there's white, and so I'm just trying to stay in that color palette. My background paper It looks kind of black on the screen that I'm looking at, but it is actually a navy blue wood grain. So it's a really dark wood grain. And I thought that that worked really well with the really dark color that was in the color inspiration. You could either take the color inspiration from the panel down the side that had the colors on it, or just by looking at the image, which sometimes the image gives you a few more options because there might be some neutrals in there that they didn't list out. And so either way, it works well. You can do either one. So I'm just going to go ahead and back these cut files. I don't make you sit through all of that. I think I just left the backing of one of them in here because it's still a time-consuming process, but it is much faster than if I were to have to hand cut each of those leaves and back them that way. Like I would tracing all of the leaves and then backing them. It takes a long time. And I don't mind doing it that way, which is what I did for the Away We Go portion, but these are such delicate little leaves that even tracing them is kind of difficult because the paper is so thin, it just likes to move away from your pencil, so you can't really get a really good accurate line around it, and the lines are very thin. So yeah, thank goodness for the Silhouette Studio software and being able to modify it for that purpose. So both Color Craze and 30 Days of Sketches are different series. Color Craze I'm just doing solely with MK over on her channel, and I'll link her channel down below as well. And then 30 Days of Sketches, we have a playlist down below that you can go and click on and see all of the videos that have been released so far and get caught up that way. There will be a lot of different people playing along. They may not be playing every single day. They might be playing just here and there like I am. I'm planning to do all of the even days plus a few of the odd days where I have some commitments to create videos anyway. I am trying not to overwhelm myself. I've just been having a really hard time between since like the end of July, being sick with COVID, and at the beginning of July, and then having surgery a few weeks later, and then now I'm fighting this sinus infection still. It's been ongoing like for 3 weeks now, so I'm trying not to overwhelm myself, but I'm still trying to provide you guys some good content, so bear with me. I really liked the really light blue here of the tumbled glass, so I went ahead and used a little piece of that paper that I had cut the florals out of, and I inked them up with the tumbled glass to create those paper airplanes. And I thought those were perfect for this particular layout because, like I said, I'm on an airplane here. This was our trip to Wisconsin, which happened the second week of August, really. We were out there for 4 or 5 days and visiting my husband's family and a dear friend of ours. So I really liked the blues here because there's a lot of blues in both of the photos. And so I thought these were perfect to add or to use for today's Color Craze challenge. And I really liked the way that these cut files came out. I am popping the smaller flowers up onto some foam, and I like how that's looking. I will be doing some journaling just right underneath where it says go, actually, to the left of those florals there. I am tucking the upper floral, the big one, underneath the A because otherwise you couldn't actually read the word very well. The A was mostly hidden because it also blends in with the W. So I'm liking the way that looks, and I'm not sure how I feel about the 2 leaves on either side of my head. I should have rotated that a little bit, but it is glued down now, so it's a little bit late. But it looks okay. It's not something that I would worry about or go and rip it off to redo it or anything like that. But I kind of liked it the other way better. But anyway, these little tiny flowers that I have from the Stampin' Up! Punch, I am using a stylus to kind of just rub the centers of them down to make them cupped and give a little bit of dimension. I don't want a ton of dimension. I just want a little tiny bit. And so these are the perfect flowers for that because they're nice and small and they nestle in. And then I have these blue sequins that just happen to be sitting on my desk. Those are from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And I am going to go ahead and glue a sequin to the center of each one. And it works perfectly because they are all blue. And it just adds to that color palette that is mostly blue and then a little bit of green and white. So don't forget to check out the other people playing along, you guys. There's going to be some great inspiration. I can't wait to see what everyone else does. I'm really looking forward to seeing what MK does for Color Craze as well. This is a series we had fun with last year, and we are super happy to bring it back this year. If you are interested in seeing last year's, I do have a playlist on my channel for that, and it was the month of October last year as well. So there's my completed layout. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, you can leave them down below and I will respond as quickly as I can. I really appreciate them, and I read every single one of them. And if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, I would really appreciate that as well. And if you're not already subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel too. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.